Hey guys, welcome to Boxing Squared for boxing news and views from around the internet. You heard it here first, fake news. Fake news. That's how Joseph Parker's promoters Duco Events are describing the rumours that Parker's upcoming fight against Hughie Fury in Manchester is going to be a flop. There's been a lot of rumour and speculation regarding what some have deemed as sluggish ticket sales for the September 23rd fight. A number of boxing channels, you've probably seen it and heard it, they've started to talk about this and cover it in recent days. So I decided, well, I'll contact Hennessy Sports, who is running the fight promotion, that was a day ago, seeking some answers and clarifications to a number of questions. Simultaneously, I also contacted Duco Events, Parker's promoters, also seeking comment. So while Hennessy Sports failed to respond so far, Duco have provided me some statements. So on ticket sales, Duco Communications Director Craig Stanaway says, "We do not comment on rumour or innuendo. If I can paraphrase Donald Trump, it's fake news, and we won't add comment to unfounded speculation. What I can confirm is a big contingent of New Zealanders based in London have bought tickets and are coming up for the fight." From our point of view, media fixation on ticket sales is misplaced. There are 5 main sources of income for boxing events, and ticket sales for recent Joseph Parker bouts, including the world title fight against Andy Ruiz at Vector Arena, where there were 10,000 seats, made up less than 10% of total revenue. So some very strong stuff there indeed. You know, Duco obviously want to squash any rumours that this event will not do well. Quoting Donald Trump, you know someone means business when they do that. I mean, I did actually seek some clarification about what all 5 sources of boxing revenue were, but as at the time of this video being published, I hadn't had a reply to that one. But I have to imagine we're talking about commercial sponsorship, merchandise, TV pay-per-view / broadcast rights. Maybe I'm missing something. Let me know if you think you have a better guess on this. Next, I know UK fans like to say about the first fight where Hughie Fury pulled out that he bottled it rather than being injured. So I asked what contingency plans Duco have in place, just in case there's another late back injury. This from Duco. "People seem to forget that this is a world title fight, and it's always been Hughie Fury's goal since a young boy to fight for the title. With this bout now rescheduled for Manchester, no one inside Duco seriously thinks he will pull out of the fight. Hughie comes from a proud family and he's going to do everything he can to make Joseph's life hell inside the ring on September 23. We 100% have no doubt about that." Got to say, I do largely agree with that sentiment there from Duco. It is hard to believe that Fury at this sort of late stage, we're a month out now, that he would pull out, given that the fight is on his own home turf. Then again, you never know, but there is a lot on the line, so it'd be hard to imagine him pulling out. Okay, next. I asked, did the original $3 million purse bid carry over to this fight? The thinking behind this question was the less than impressive undercard that has been announced has to be explained somehow. And my thoughts had turned to, well, maybe Hennessy Sports was trying to go cheap on the undercard because it needed to pay the wages of Fury and Parker. Duco had this to say on the purse bid question. "The US $3 million bid won by Duco Events for Parker vs Fury was only negotiated for the May 6th fight, which did not eventuate. A new deal was negotiated for this fight in Manchester on September 23. Obviously, both parties reached agreement very quickly, meaning we didn't have to go back to purse bid again." It's got to be said that answer doesn't really tell us a lot, but it does indicate that the purse is either the same or a bit less than before. I mean, it would be hard to imagine that it would be significantly less. So when Hennessy Sports get back to me, because if they don't get back to me, I'll just keep empty chairing them like I am right now, we might have more information on the broadcast arrangements and other matters. But on broadcast arrangements, Duco had this to say. The bout will screen on Sky Arena pay-per-view in New Zealand on Sunday morning, September 24. We will be making an announcement on pricing shortly. I'll really be interested to see whether it's more than the $34.95 New Zealand dollars that New Zealanders get charged for pay-per-views coming out of the UK, like the Joshua Klitschko card. I know a lot of fans have griped at high pay-per-view cost in relation to Joseph Parker fights. I've been in that camp. So it'll be really interesting to see what the price point actually is. But I have to say, I've got to commend Duco for fronting on this issue. But I guess when the rumour and speculation mill starts to build, as it has in recent days, around a potential fight flop, you really have no choice. You have to go out on the front foot. So I'm hoping that Hennessy Sports comes back and does the same. So I've asked them a number of specific questions. Chiefly, how many tickets are on sale and the venue's total capacity? If parts of the venue are closed off and not being sold, why? How many tickets have been sold in total to date? Is this more or less what they expected? So I asked a number of other related questions down that same question line, and also on financial matters, some of which Duco answered in part. But I also did ask Hennessy Sports to respond to criticism, including from myself, about the quality of the undercard, and it not being one that will draw in fight fans in general, let alone the casual fan. So I'm hoping, and let's hope that they do respond, and I can do part 2 of this story. So I guess this is kind of to be continued. So what do you make of all this? But big ups to Duco for fronting. Now it's Hennessy Sports' turn. You can also catch me on Twitter, boxing_squared. Follow me. Hit like and subscribe. I'm out.